Not connected yet. Hello, we are live, Mark. Hi, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Guys versus Dolls, Dating in the New World. And this is Marc Siegel. He is recently single after 26 years, and he seems to have just smoothly and easily moved into the single life. And we want to get his tips. There's a lot of people out there. I got a lot of messages today. I'm single recently too. I'm single recently too. And they don't know what to do. So, Mark, Mark owns QPT CBD. I love his CBD is excellent. I've worked with him once or twice just in his when he does shows, and it's excellent. And let's turn this over to Mark.
All right. Thanks for having me here. Great to be here, Stacy. Hope we can add some value. It's been a while since we've done a podcast together. And if you would have asked me a few years ago, would this be the podcast or topic we'd be talking about? I'd probably say you're crazy and take some action on it. But here we are. That's neither here nor there on August 28th of 2023. Blink in my eyes, and this year is already approaching the end. So, just here to help and see if I could add some value, tell people a little bit about what's been going on, what I've been going through, how I've went through all of that and navigated it. So that's really it. So great to have me here. We could freestyle. I've never prepped for one podcast about anything ever. So you can either basically fire away with questions, or I could jump into stories, or if we have some people viewing, we can get into comments maybe on the back end, because I'll probably answer or address a lot of things while we talk. So I would say I'll go to you first to defer. Is there any way, since this is the Empowered by Adversity show, and not
double
the
Guys versus Dolls, Empowered by Adversity.
Right, exactly.
Yes, and it's always on YouTube. It will be there. You can go put up my name, Stacy Rosman podcast, and the name of the podcast. And they will line up, and you can pick the one that you want to see. And it's always on my public page, which you're probably on right now as well.
Yep.
The other thing is, please like, comment, and share this video. I really appreciate it. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm looking at it on my other monitor right there, watching it on your page.
Okay, great. That's awesome. You can also type in questions, and I will tell Mark what the questions are, and we can answer the questions. So come on, bring the questions on. Mark.
Yes.
So how did you do this?
So I'm just going to say this, and I'm going to right off the bat do a little bit of a disclaimer. I will try to leave, the names out to protect the innocent. I will try to, in certain cases, if you hear me speaking in broad strokes or leaving names out, you can understand. But basically, I was with somebody from dating through marriage to about 26 years as of almost a year ago in 22. And, at the end of the day, people become different. And, there wasn't any specific traumatic event that happened. I didn't cheat on her. She didn't cheat on me. No one stole anything. No one hit each other. There wasn't any kind of abuse or domestic violence. It was just becoming different people. And anyone who knows me knows that I always want to be true to myself. And when I was with my wife and we were into each other and we were feeling it, we were true to ourselves. And then that started, kind of going like this. It started getting a little more challenging. But, we tried a little bit, some coaching, counseling. And at the end of the day, and I still say it with no ill will, we just ended up trying to work on a separation. To me, a lot of people throw that word separation around. To me, it's almost basically the same thing as divorce. Because you're going to be living with someone and you're going to sleep in different rooms, or you're hardly talking, or you're not intimate, and you're not spending time together, you're pretty much, for all intensive purposes, other than the legal aspect of it, you are divorced. So then basically in January, within the first couple of days, moved a couple miles away, got myself a little condo. I wanted to be next to my children, because that's one thing I want to stress very importantly out of this whole podcast is, in my opinion, that's time where you really have to dial into the kids. They're fragile. I have two teenagers.
Mhm.
Leave names and grades and all that information out. But with that said, they aren't ignorant. They see mom. They see dad. They see if we're fighting. They see if we're arguing. They see if we're closer. They see if we're touchy feely or separated, or
Sure. They
kids,
pick up on that.
they get it. They pick up on it instantly. So at the end of the day, my biggest concern was, where can I go that I could still have proximity to them, because that's some of my most important things out there. And I got a place literally a few miles away. And as I said, I have my son in the other room. It's same sports, same school, same friends,
Uh-huh.
same everything. It's just now sometimes they sleep at dad, sometimes they sleep at
So
mom.
you work together really well at doing this.
Oh,
You
not
and
only do we work together really well, and I see we'll get to Howard's question in a second,
yeah.
because I could see it live too streaming
Oh,
now.
cool. Howard, 1 second.
Yeah, I would say this, at the end of the day, it's paramount about the kids, and I'm losing my train of thought, or saying, the amicability. Sorry, I was just looking at some more
Being amicable.
and people are messaging me. Hey, if you're messaging me, you should be watching this and putting it in streaming on Facebook, not on my phone in the middle of this. Because on a side note, problems are the gifts we go from. My camera stopped working 5 minutes before the episode, so here I am on my phone, hiding in my bedroom. Neither here nor there, because the show must go on. But I will say this: we did it as far as the divorce faster and cheaper than anyone I know in the world. I mean, if I tell you we literally spent under $500 and had it done in a matter of months with 0 attorneys.
So
And,
lucky.
I don't want to throw shade on all the attorneys who are viewing. And it's funny because I had we could speak this now. I had a friend who was a divorce attorney. She had a friend who was a divorce attorney. Those two people actually were going through a divorce, and all 4 of us lived in the same development. So,
Wow.
you've got the guy side saying this, and then you've got the girl side saying this. And at the end of the day, we just decided, you know what? Let's talk about what we want and not what everybody else wants. And at the end of
Good.
the day, we said we were together for almost a quarter of a century, actually over a quarter of a century. And, you don't just turn that off in a second.
So
Obviously.
you had a smooth divorce. It was a smooth divorce. Do you think that made it easier for you
Oh,
to
100%.
glide in?
Listen, absolutely. And listen, smooth is relative, because divorce is divorce. It's still soul crushing after
Yeah.
decades. We used to coach people on how to stay together. We
Right.
used to, give advice on this. And now here we are doing it ourselves. But again, we just became different people, and that's that. So yeah, of course, if you could do it yourself and without attorneys and without dragging this out for years, it's a lot better. We do communicate a lot easier.
Hmm.
I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's all roses, but it's pretty good for the most part. It's little things about scheduling and who's picking up who, and I have to do something that weekend. Can you do this weekend? And can you buy this, and I'll buy that.
So your
So
kids are good with this too. I mean, your kids have been eased into this and they're okay with it. Yeah.
yeah, that you listen.
Okay.
They're as good as they could be. They're resilient. You know, Obviously, in a perfect world, they don't have to go through that. And I hear a lot of couples, we'll wait till little Johnny or little Susie goes off to college. But depending how many years that is, and for us, it was quite a bit of years with one of our children.
And you're young.
Right. So at the end of the day, I would say, obviously, it helps to be able to do it yourself. Obviously,
How old are you?
me. Actually, I'll leave that as a guess. We can put some guesses in, and whoever gets the closest, maybe I'll send them some CBD. So I'm giving it
Come on,
away a
Mark.
little bit.
You're young enough to still say your age.
Even though I'm cryptic. No, I like saying it because obviously, especially in
Okay.
the dating world, I'll just say that I'm very, I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. I feel a lot younger than I am. I look a
Okay.
lot younger than I am. If you looked at the profile picture,
Well, you're also a fitness trainer.
right. Well, thank you. That helps keep you young. It doesn't suck when you are a personal trainer for 11 years, when you own a CBD company, when you work out 5 days a week. So my body
Yeah,
is
and have the good
well,
life in Florida.
yeah, exactly. And my body is well over a decade or two ahead of what my chronological age is. So And that usually ends up where I lie in the dating pool as well, per se. But jumping around, it's funny because
Yeah,
I'm just
jump
going to go
around.
right
Let's
to.
answer his question real quick
Yeah, I'm
and
going
then
to go
go
to
back to
Howard. So he
this.
says, Howard asks, are online dating apps worthwhile? I seem to waste a lot of time when I try. So, what's funny is, for me, I think they're kind of a waste, but there is some value depending. When I first started this, I remember when I was going even through the separation and I signed up and everyone's like, you got to go on Tinder. And I didn't even know what it was. I remember looking through my computer. I'm like, okay, I like her. I don't like her. I like her. And you're swiping or checking, or depending if you're doing it on your phone or on the computer. But what I felt like was that it was just a lot of noise. It's a lot of, hi, I'm Mark. I'm in Florida. Hi, I'm Susie Q. I'm in Florida too. Great. What's the weather? Weather's nice. What are you doing today? Going to the pool. What are you doing today? Going to the gym. And it was just a lot of mindless, aimless banter, to be honest. I disconnected it pretty quickly because
Yeah.
I also started getting couples who wanted me to be with them and people who are gay that wanted to be with me, which is
Oh,
fine. But
really?
oh yeah,
I find
absolutely.
I find them very tedious. Like if
Very.
I'm on Match, which I might be right now, I think I am, I'll go on once a month for like a half hour. I can't deal with anymore. There's too many people. It's too confusing. I know what I want, very specific things that are really important to me. I talked to two of the top matchmakers this weekend. This morning, I talked to one of them too in the country and we had a beautiful conversation. I'm going to have to discuss this on the next show. I want to, who they are and what they recommended
Okay.
because I
Well,
want
yeah.
this to be here about you.
Yeah, no worries. So jumping back, and I see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more people messaging me where
Blanca.
to see this. Blanca's here. Beautiful. Yay, Blanca, if you could go tell Sherry how to get on, please, and the rest of the crew, because they're all messaging me.
Hi, Blanca.
Hi, Blanca. So she's another, it's actually funny because we could do another episode like this. And Blanca, as I always call the female version of me, has a similar type story. But, as
Oh,
far
man, you
as,
should have put her on.
hey, listen, we
Why
could
didn't
do
we
that
do
too.
that?
Absolutely. So going back to the apps, so here's my thoughts. So I tried Match. Match I found to be decent. I actually went on a handful of dates from it. I had some minor connections from it, just because I felt like it was a little more dialed into, I like this, I like this, I like this. You look at that, great. Message, talk, go, boom. I've tried Stir, which is for couples that have children, or I'm sorry, single people that are divorced.
Interesting.
I find Stir to be terrible. Sorry, Stir. I'll just say it's lack of people, and I just didn't like what I was finding on there. At the end of the day, if I had to pick my favorite one of all of it, it's Facebook dating.
It
And
is Facebook dating. Interesting.
I mean, I got to tell you, because at the end of the day, I kind of spend a lot of time on Facebook, so it's organically natural for me. And then I just press a little thing on the bottom, and boom, every morning I wake up. This one likes me, that one likes me, this one, and then you can go in and see a paragraph of, likes, dislikes, commonalities, hobbies. What I also like though about that is it could say has a mutual friend with
Mm-hmm.
Blanca.
Right.
So if I see someone I like and they have a mutual connection with Blanca, I can call Blanca and say, hey, what's the deal with Jennifer over here? And then she says, oh, great. I know what that is. So, yeah, I would say Facebook dating would be that, even though lastly, as I wrap it up, and looks like you have another question, I find that the apps aren't really how I'm getting all my dates. And that'll be for more content to talk about during the episode. Over to you, Stacy Rosman. What's your question?
Thank you. So, my big concern with dating apps is there's no background check. One of the matchmakers that I spoke to today, she does a background check. And I mean, yes, she does a lot more than that. She actually fixed me up once, about 20 years ago. She's amazing. I'm going to tell you who she is.
Okay.
Just going to tell you next time. But yes, that's my only thing. There's no background check. You don't know who you're meeting. That people say they're one person, they say they're one age, they're another age, they're not who they are. They put pictures up there that's not them. So how long, like if you're on a dating app, how long would you like you text each other, send a message? Um, how soon would you get on the phone?
So I like to get on the phone ASAP because, first of all, going back to a few things, I actually do agree with the concept, especially for women, about the security piece with the matchmakers and the background checks. Because, look,
Yeah.
someone calls you, hey, Stacy, meet me in City Place in West Palm. And you go out and you don't know. It could be some psychotic guy who God knows where says, yeah, meet me in the back alley. And who knows?
It's scary.
I don't mean to paint a grim picture. I mean, thank God for me. I'm a decent sized guy who can handle himself. I'm not worried that I'm going to go meet a woman at a bar and she's going to beat me up or attack me or drug me or take me home. I mean, I guess she might, but hopefully not. But you kind of always have to watch. Now, regarding there's a few things that you brought up about the pictures. One thing I cannot stand is that I've had women put pictures up and they'd be like, oh, wow. And I look at two pictures and I say, wow, you look like you're 40 pounds heavier, 3 different color hair, and 2 tones of skin different in this other picture. And they're like,
Blanca
oh,
says,
because the other picture is,
yeah.
Hold on, I'm sorry. Let's wait a second because they're flowing in now. I would say at the end of the day, don't be putting pictures up that are 5 years old. Like I try to put pictures up that are days or weeks old. My picture of my promo for this flyer is a couple months old. And to me, that's like a lot of time, even though I pretty much, as you can see, look the same exactly. And I take a picture all the time. So yeah, I want to see pictures. I can't stand the filters. Girls, please, women, even men, stop with the filters.
I don't even know how to use a filter.
I am losing patience for filters with all these videos.
Yeah.
Everyone's throwing themselves up on Insta and Facebook and not even in general, forget about the dating. And they're like, oh, I mean, listen, there's people on this show watching right now that we have friends that we know that put filters on that they look nothing like those people in real life.
Blanca said 2 things. I want to say them. I think they're important. She said the key is to FaceTime before the day that you hit the clutch or whatever before you meet them, to FaceTime. 100%. And that, you know what, that's a great idea.
I have not met one person without a FaceTime. Not one.
Okay.
Unless I already knew them and, I was like, oh my God, I knew you for 3-4 years. And then we send each other a picture or two. And then we say, okay, great, let's go grab a bite. I already know who that person is. But yeah, FaceTime, Skype, WhatsApp video, whatever you use, you want to see the video. Now, on top of all that, because let's call it what it is, there's that, okay, like in my opinion, as far as the physical attraction, in seconds. So now
that happens in person. Does that have? Okay, you're physically attracted on pictures. Sure, you go on the picture.
I'm not physically attracted to you on that call. We're not even meeting.
Right.
Period.
Okay.
Because I'm not here to blow smoke up people. I'm not here to, become, besties. I know that sounds a little harsh, maybe as I'm saying my delivery of it, but if you're on a dating app or you're talking about dating or you want a connection, that attraction has to be there instantly.
Okay.
See, Blanca just said 2 seconds, if there's an attraction. So she agrees. So now the attraction's there and that's fine and dandy. But now it's what's coming out of here, what's in here, and this is where I like to say, I can't speak for all the men in the world, but I could speak for me. Just because I'm single, just because I'm dating, just because I'm attracted and I can tell in seconds doesn't mean I want something in here or in here. I've beyond that point of even pre-marriage of, oh my God, this one has an amazing body, so let me just be with them because of their amazing body, and I can't have a 30-second conversation with them. Right. Or I don't like their attitude or they're negative, so for me, I listen,
negativity is bad. Everyone,
Negativity is always
negativity is
bad.
bad.
You know, and
If you
I
want to
want
meet
people
someone,
that are in gratitude. I want people that are grateful. I want people that are feeling blessed. You know
compassion,
exactly.
empathy, kindness. Yes.
Right, all of it. So like-minded, Tony Robbins people. Like I see Soraya, she's tuning in from Cabo St. Lucas. You
Thank you,
know,
Soraya.
we've got friends from around the world that are watching this. And at the end of the day, you know, I think it's a little more important than just that 2 seconds of, oh, he looks good, she looks good, now let's go. It's not
There
that
was
simple.
one. Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
There was one helpful hint that stuck out today. I spoke to Joanne Ward, and
Okay.
she's master matchmakers. She is in Florida, but she's nationwide. And she told me you should not settle. People should not settle. Do you think people settle a lot? You
I
should not
think people
settle.
settle all the time
Right?
because at the end of the day, people are, in my opinion, and the opinion of a lot of people, they're looking for love, they're looking for connection, they don't want
Hmm.
to be lonely. You know, I was just thinking about a sentence as I'm saying that. You know, in Tony Robbins, we were
Hmm.
talking about how when
We
something
love Tony Robbins.
we love Tony Robbins, and I'm surprised I'm not wearing a lucky hat. You know, when you something exciting happens to you, it is in our DNA to want to share it. You know, like, oh my God, I just sold 10 bottles of CBD, and I'm like, yay, great sale. I'm already by reaction going
Uh-huh.
to my phone to text or call someone. That someone used to be my wife. You know, if I
Right?
had a great thing, or I hit it on a stock, or I had a great sale, or I hit a PR in the gym, you know, you're calling someone. And what I found is, or maybe the PR in the gym, I'm calling the guy friends. But, you know, as far as other things, you're reaching out to someone. So, yeah, everybody wants that connection. Hey, Dr. Sherry just jumped on. Love the rose. Thanks for joining and bring some more people on here. And now
Can I
people
just
asking,
thank Becca real quick? Becca, I want to thank you for today.
is Becca on
Um,
here? Let's talk to Becca too.
Becca, are you here?
If she's here, throw an emoji out in there.
I started doing her 17-minute workout today. I'm going to put an ad up on the Facebook page. This woman is amazing, Becca T-Bone,
Yep.
and she is in Florida. I went over to her house. I did a morning workout on video on Zoom, and it's band. She has a 17-minute band, amazing workout. So then I went over to her house later, and she worked me out, and she's just incredible. So yeah,
Wow,
she's
she
going to be
is
a co-host
amazing.
too on
No,
here.
Becca's amazing. I'm sure she has no problem finding dates.
No,
And,
she's
you know,
gorgeous and
but now here's the thing
heart of
too, on
gold.
that side note, then we're going to go to this nice long thing that Soraya wrote. You know, putting myself in Becca's shoes and trying to think in her mind,
Hmm.
Becca is a great looking woman who's super
Gorgeous.
fit and probably gets hit on religiously. That's got to get a little tiring.
I'll tell you
Um,
myself, it definitely gets really tiring. It
right?
gets really annoying. But you know what? What's the alternative? Not having any attention. So you're going to be grateful, but you got to take the good with the bad.
Right. Listen, you know, let me think about this for a second. There's a lot of thoughts in my head. You know, listen, I've been flattered to be approached by, you know, women. And I will
Right?
say this, by the way, in case this is a question, because a lot of people ask me, women, go talk to these guys. This isn't like, you know, 1950s. You know, Blanca likes being hit on. Of course you do. Everybody likes being hit
Hi,
on.
Vodka.
You know, who doesn't like getting hit on? But now the $1 million question is, you know, I've been at a bar and I see a woman looking at me and I'm looking
Mhm.
at her and I'm like, I think she's kind of figuring out. I could watch the smoke coming out of her ears already. Like, what do I say to this guy? How do I go over there? Can I go over? Can I talk to him? Yes, you can. No man, well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I can speak for myself again. I'm trying not to make generalizations.
Okay.
But if a good looking woman comes up to me and
Right.
wants to approach me, I'm not going to bite her head off. And I'll
Okay.
do you one even better. Even if I'm
Mark,
not
but you know
attracted,
what?
hold on, I want
What
to say,
if it's a really intelligent woman and she's like, she's average looking? I mean, you're still going to be.
I'll still talk. Listen, I'm always cordial. I'm
Right? Guys
always,
are very visual. They with the women, they just want, yeah.
listen, everyone's visual. You know, at the end of the day, again, and I'm reading some of the comments and I want to go back to Soraya's, but so far everyone's like, yep, FaceTime, video, connection, attraction right away. That's all great and dandy. Even if I'm not attracted, I will still be cordial and courteous to the woman. And that's just because how I was
So
raised.
how do you handle a situation like that?
Oh,
If
I've done it.
she's like,
I have it
right.
happen, respectfully,
So
kind
what do
of
you
often.
say?
I say, listen, I
You're
appreciate
not my
that,
type?
or I'm flattered, but you're just not my type. Exactly. And then sometimes
Really?
the dialogue gets into, well, what is your type? And then I say, or they'll say, how do you know I'm not your type? I just looked at you from across a bar.
Do
I
you say
came
that?
over to you and you're telling me you're not my type. How do you
Let's
know
be
that?
friends, Blanca said.
And maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right, but and I quote, I'm always nice to everyone that flirts because you never know, if you're not attracted, they can become a friend, client, or both, Blanca says, which
Okay.
is, and that's a whole other, we're going ADD style. I'm going to bust out gummies soon because we're all over the place.
Isn't
But
the whole world ADD?
yes, and that's why I'm in the CBD business. But anyway, and I'm going to get a bag of gummies in a second while I chew on it. But beside the fact that yes, they could be the friend, they could be the client, they could be both. Let's call it what it is too. If, let's say, Stacy Rosman comes over to me and says, "Hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you," and you're trying to connect with me, and I'm a total jackass to you, and now you go back to sit down with your other 4 girlfriends that you're having drinks or dinner with, and then as I'm walking by, I'm like, "Holy shit! Look at this one!" Good luck. I'm gonna go walk over and talk to her, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, you're the jackass that was just obnoxious to me when I came to talk to you." So
Yeah.
maybe if I was nice to you, you could say, all right, well, some like tomato, some like tomato. He likes blondes, I'm brunette, whatever. Next, talk to my friend. So yeah, you always have to be nice in the delivery, in the
Sure. Well, I
acceptance.
mean, come on. We come from truth.
Right.
I mean, we live the truth every day, very spiritual, connected to our soul, healers.
Yeah, listen, you know what? But at the end of the day, and again, I don't want to stereotype men, and I'll say it to women too, always speak your truth.
Hmm.
This is one thing that, and anyone, and anyone who knows me throughout
Hmm.
this entire process, I am the most transparent guy you are ever going to meet. And you know that
Yeah,
damn
I
well.
agree.
I tell you like it is, good, bad, or indifferent. And if
No
it's good,
filter.
it's good. If it's not, it's not. And I'm not even, and sometimes, there could be a situation where it might not be good now,
Right.
but it might be good at another time. Let's also talk about the right person, but at the wrong time.
Right. That happens all the time. Timing. That's another thing Joanne said. It's all about timing. You need to know what it is that you want, but it's all about timing. And you know what? You should just chill and relax and wait. If it's not now, it could be next week that
Right.
you meet somebody, but it could be next year. You not might not be in the right place in your life to meet the
That's a
right
whole other. I
person.
wasn't even talking about that. I'm talking about, you see someone, you like each other, you're
Yes.
attracted, you start talking, and look, again, being in full transparency. I remember in the beginning when I just started dating, and some women would be like, that's great. I'm going to be your boyfriend, and we're going to do this every day. And then soon I'm going to move in, and then we can get engaged because I'm 40 something or whatever, 50. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. And I said this statement, and every one of you who are my friends on here heard, I didn't care at a certain point if Wonder Woman herself, and I love Gal Gadot, fell out of the
Yes, you
sky
do.
and said, I'm going to be your serious commitment right now. After you come out of 26 years, that's not exactly what you're running to do. So Gal or Wonder Woman might have been the best thing that I've ever put my eyes on or talked to or been like that. But on the other hand, if she wanted full on commitment and
Yeah.
I couldn't give it to her, now is where the guy says bullshit, whatever they want, just to get her
Right.
with them or in bed or whatever. Or you can actually handle
That
it how I
happens all the
do.
time, right?
Oh yeah, all the time. Listen,
But
let's
I
not
hear
get
the
it
girls are
twisted.
just, I hear the women are just as bad as the men are, though, when it comes to that. So Hoya said, would you date someone like yourself?
Well, I need a little more about that, Soraya, as far as and if she means my,
He wouldn't.
if
He would
she,
not. It would,
I assume Soraya is referring to someone who is with someone for a long time that
Yes.
is out of a relationship and it's
Okay.
still fresh. Would I connect with someone like that? Absolutely. I got news for you. I might even, in a weird way, be lateral to prefer that because they understand what I'm feeling. You
Right.
know, I've went on dates with women who haven't been on a date or, well, there's two categories: haven't been on a date in a while or haven't been with a man in a while.
Right.
And sometimes, it's a sticky situation, no pun intended, when you
You're so
you-
bad.
oh no, come on, that's
Come
another
on, be
episode.
good, be bad.
I want to be bad. A little. Listen,
I know you want to be. Go ahead. You
I
can be a
told
little
people we're going
bad.
to get a little spicy.
Go ahead, make it
This is
spicy.
Facebook and this is streamed, and we do want it to stay on. Shit, I get pulled off of Blanca Zooms for going with no shirt on, so I don't know if we're going to be
You can
able
take
to.
your shirt off.
I thank you. I appreciate it, but we want the stream. Take a shirt off. We want the podcast to keep going. But what I was saying in the train of thought is, that person understands. They can relate. I'm not worried about if, Lisa Q said, I was with my husband for 20 years and we got divorced 3 weeks ago. I'm not going to go at Lisa Q full steam ahead about like, where are we going away for the weekend? And, can I sleep over for 3 nights in a row? When she's just like, hey, my bedding smells of my ex-husband still barely, like chill,
Right.
so you have to kind of know who your audience is and know who you're with. So yeah, and I missed some of the comments here. Since we have 20 something of them, I wanted to go back to I think some other people. Soraya had a good one about her little policy of 11. I think it was 11 minutes and 11 days and 11 something.
Wait, 11, like 11 dates in 11 days for 11
I don't
minutes?
know exactly what it
It's
was.
like
I missed it
speed
because
dating?
it's not showing all of my.
Oh,
It's
it's not
hiding
showing.
some.
Oh, wait, here. Let me pull this down.
It's hiding some of the comments, but
It
while
is?
Stacy's looking for that, we have about a dozen people watching right now. So hey, throw these questions in, and I'm gonna go semi no filter, and I'm gonna keep this like PG-13/R. So
I'll ask you a question. I'll ask
yeah,
you.
go ahead.
So, okay, having sex for the first time with someone else after that long of a period of time, is it
It's
weird?
very weird. It's very weird.
A different body
It's a
that
different
works
body, it's a different
differently?
person, it's a different energy, and as we speak and talk about it all the time, we are energy, love is
Right.
energy, connection is energy, sex
Raising the
is
vibration.
right, raising the vibration, no pun intended. Sex is an energy exchange. I know a lot of people, men and women, who are very, very super particular of who they're having sex with because, they literally just don't feel the right energy. And they live in the space of it's got to be, this amazing energy and it's
Oh, I have to
powerful.
have that.
What's up?
I have to have that.
There you go. And that's your DNA. And, I hate to profile again, but I'd be really damn curious. And I wish we had more on here, but maybe you do a poll over some time.
Okay.
Ask 100 women
Right.
what their parameters are as far as what type of energy is necessary,
I could do that on the street
required,
walking down.
or to be there
Yeah.
to have sex. Now go ask 100 guys the same question and see
So
what your
I'm
answer
going to
is.
start doing that on Atlantic Avenue. I'm asking
Well, I
people.
don't know if you should run around in Atlantic Avenue going, hey, you like my energy? You want to have sex with me? You know what I mean?
No, I'm going to tell them I'm doing it for the
Oh, for a
podcast. I'm
survey.
doing
There you go. That'd
a
be cool.
survey.
I was going to say, you'll probably
Hey,
get, you know what? No bullshit. You'll probably get 5 dates by just doing that. And that's another thing. You got
I'm
to
going
be
to
out
do it.
there.
I'm not joking. I'm serious.
I know you're serious. And I
Will you
know
be the
you're going to,
first one?
listen, you'll kill a lot of birds. You'll get research, you'll get data, you'll have
Uh-huh.
content, and then you'll probably, end
Write
up
a book?
having the dating, write a book. So yeah, let's see. Ray Suarez, how do you tell someone you care about them without telling them you do? My answer on that, my humble opinion, is you tell them. I don't dance around. If you care about someone, you care about someone. You let
Yeah.
them know.
Right.
What's the worst thing? Listen, Let's get it straight. You think that every single woman I approached in the past 8 months was like falling over her feet and
I
saying,
can't
yes,
believe it's
okay?
only 8 months, but then I can't. I mean,
They're not though.
yeah,
And yes, I can't believe it. And
I,
in 8 months, it feels like a lifetime, but it feels like yesterday.
I'm sorry,
No,
but
don't
I'm
be
glad you're
sorry.
both doing well.
No, listen, we're doing well. And to go to Ray, my point, and again, everyone has, Ray's laughing dinner, bah ha ha ha. And then guess what? You know what? I don't even really want to go to dinner with that someone unless I tell them how I feel. Because, you could throw it in the chat, raise your hand, do whatever. How many of us have been at a date and you're like, God, kill me now? Like, when is this going to end? Like, can I just get out of here fast enough? Are we going to have to order more drinks and more apps and more dinner and dessert? And I just want out of here.
Did you ever go on a trip? Oh no, you didn't. You're only recently single.
Oh,
Go on
no,
a
I
trip
went on
with
a trip
somebody
away.
for like 5 days, and it's like
I
forget
went
it
on a
after.
trip with somebody for a few days. It was
Yeah.
amazing. We had a
Well,
ton of
that's
fun.
good, but you didn't ever experience, did you, when it was not amazing and it was really complicated, and you thought you were going to get along really well with the person, and you had a great connection, and yeah, it felt
Well,
like
that's a whole other thing too. In my humble opinion, again, I'm gonna say that a lot. If you're gonna go on a trip with somebody, you better have XYZ dates under your belt. You should probably have sex a bunch of times under your belt. You should probably have had a sleepover or two under your belt, because it's different. It's different
so can
getting
I
on
just,
a plane. It's different staying in a hotel room. It's different when you wake up with someone next to you and you're
yeah,
like, whoa, what's going on here now? You're not
for
used
the
to that.
first time.
Yeah, first time. But again, I'm not a big fan of like, let's go away for the weekend for time one. Because if things aren't flowing, I mean, mentally, physically, sexually, emotionally, it's going to be an interesting vacation. And sometimes it can feel a lot longer than it is.
That's for sure.
I mean, don't you want
Yeah,
to
you
go?
have to have a lot of interest, right?
Of
Yeah,
course, you want to have commonalities. You want to have
yes,
interest. You want to have
yes,
an attraction. I mean,
yes.
look, let's call it what it is. Going to the spicy side of things. I challenge one person to write in this Facebook or YouTube or anything who doesn't like hot hotel go away sex. Everyone does. So, if you're not having that with that person before you went away, you probably shouldn't be going away yet with that person. I don't know. These are
So
just
you
my
would never
thoughts.
take somebody away with you that you never slept with?
Probably not. And again, maybe some people saying, like, I'm sure there's some guy watching this. And again, I hate to dog on the guys,
Yeah.
oh, that's bullshit. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to impress her. I'm going to say, yeah, I'm going to take her to, Vegas for the weekend. And we're going to party and we're going to have fun. And we're going to have sex. And we're going to lay out. We're going to go to parties. Guess what? You didn't even talk to this woman 5 times. Like, how do you know she's like, I'm sick of drinking. I don't want to go dancing. My feet
Right.
hurt. I'm tired. You bore me. You're too wild for me. You're too calm for me. She gets there and she's a
Your
raving.
breath is bad. You
You,
smell.
you don't even
Those are bad
exactly
things.
anything. You stink. Your breath. You
Make sure
never
you're
ever know.
cleanly and take care of yourself. Wellness.
Listen, that's a whole other conversation. We're not going anywhere if you're not already respectfully, in some pretty decent shape and you take care of yourself and you're healthy. And to answer Ray's question, not even a question, but a comment that
It
says it
takes
takes,
time.
you know what? Time is relative. Some people can have that connection and have that knowledge and feel inside of 3 dates. Some people need a month. Some
Hey, do you
people
have the
need
three
6
day
months.
rule?
No, you know what? I'm gonna call
You
bull
have the 1 day
again.
rule.
Yeah, I have to there is no you know what? I think I'm over
So
that. Yeah,
bad.
we grew up with that. Oh my God, I got this girl's phone number. Now I gotta wait 3 days before I could talk to her. Why? Like, if I'm a woman and you ask me for your phone number and you don't call me for 3 days, I'm not a big fan of that. Like, if I give a woman, I've given women my phone number and I'm looking at that phone like that night. I'm like, yo, where's the, it was great to meet you. Good night. Sweet dreams. Talk to you in the morning. It was great meeting you, something. So I don't care. I mean, I've been guilty of, I violated the rule. I've met people and a few hours later, I'm like, hey, it was great to meet you.
So let
Talk
me
to you
ask you a
tomorrow.
question.
Yep.
if you go out on a date with somebody and they met you and they drive home, will you ask them to text you to make sure that they're home safe, or will you?
100%.
Okay.
I
I like
ask,
that. I think that's really important, men.
yeah,
Make sure the woman's safe and make sure you open the door for her.
I
That's a
still,
biggie.
yes, no, 100%. Listen, I do that with a lot of my friends, even let alone dates. Like, we go out in Delray, we got to make it up north, or someone's got a half-hour drive. I'm like, text me when you walk in your house. I don't care if that's a guy. I don't care if it's a girl. I don't care if I'm dating. To me, that's just being a human being. Then you're going to take it to the next level of, if you're interested in this person, said no person ever. I'm upset that this person interested in me followed up to see if I was safe. That you got a little like tiny,
It's a little thing and it means
got a
so much.
check in the book.
If
You
you
got a
want us
little,
to if you want to be a man, be a gentleman, but also safety is so important for the women. And the world is just so crazy today. So even if you don't want to really take her out again, just make sure she's home safe. It's a big deal. Thank
cleanliness is
you.
so important. Guys, please remember to wear deodorant and cologne, dears. I'm out otherwise, says Blanca. I love that. Make sure oral hygiene is up to par too, says the dentist, of course. But yeah, it's all important. Oral hygiene. I mean, sometimes,
It's so important.
listen, something so stupid as that, like, carry some mints with you, have some
Right.
gum with you, brush your teeth before you go. And like Blanca said, I mean, shit, if you need to be in check about, are you wearing deodorant and cologne and you're going on a date, man, you got to go back to basics 101.
Yeah, well, you do because these things are important. It also shows how you're going to treat another person. If you don't take care of yourself, then you're not going to be taking care of another person.
Bingo.
Emotionally, physically, whatever it is, you
Bingo.
need to take care of yourself.
100%, 100%. And people, it's shown, it is exhibited. And I'm sure, I know I take a mental check. Like, I'm looking, if I took a woman out and she smells and she's got spinach stuck in her teeth and her hair isn't done and her makeup's all a mess, like, I'm gonna be like, really? Like, did you spend more than 3 minutes to get ready to come see me? Or, and again, I'm not really, and that's lower on the food chain for me as far as, believe it or not, the aesthetics, if I say that in the same
Uh-huh.
breath of, let's not get it twisted again, I'm attracted to attractive people, but I've met some women that, it wasn't that immediate crazy spark right away,
Hmm.
and we're talking and I'm like, I like what I'm hearing. That's another time.
Right.
And I'd love to hear from the women on this, because again, I could only bring to the table what a guy thinks about, but I'm sure there's women watching this right now, and I'm not sure, but I'd like to know where, you met a guy and you're like, okay, he's okay. And the next thing you know, wow, he's really funny. Wow, he pulled the
Yeah.
chair.
Because you're
Wow,
connecting
he
on a
opened the
different level.
door. And I hate to say it, and I maybe hate to say it isn't even the right language. It's all kind of getting like stored in a little like subconscious,
Right.
the guy who you thought that was like, yeah, he's getting the door, he's pulling the chair, he's taking
Right.
your place,
Right.
he's engaged, he's
Well, I'm not the one
listening
that
to
just
you.
said it's all about looks. Well, not that you said it's all about looks, but you definitely have to be physically attractive. I'm not like that. I mean, yes, I need to be attracted to the person, but the emotional thing can take me to the upper level, the emotional connection, the intelligence of the person,
Mhm.
and the ways of the way the person is. Like you have your specific ways.
No, 100%. And her dancing shoes hurt her. Ha ha. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah. If her dancing shoes hurt her, then say, hey, are you going to be in tune enough? And if this is what I'm guessing, what he's really being like literal or what he's saying, be smart enough to say, why don't we go sit down for a second?
Yeah,
Why,
or take your shoes off and let's continue dancing.
why don't I, right, take your shoes off? Why
Yeah.
don't we take a break? Listen, that's a whole other conversation of being in tune with what the woman is thinking. And I guess for that point, the man, and try to be like playing chess. Like
Right. Yeah,
I
I get
already,
that.
I'm already, I like to, know what's going on. I'm already seeing like, all right,
Yeah, you are.
we're dancing and I'm, we start at like a level 7, and then you have a drink or two, and you're an 8, and
Are
you're a
you
9,
manifesting?
and then you're rubbing and you're touching and it's fun. But then all of a sudden you're like, all right, she's getting a little stale to this. Now it's an 8. Now it's a 7. Now it's an energy of 6. You got to be knowing right there, say, I got to either do something to mix this up, or I got to shift the whole scenario and say, let's go sit down over there. Let's go take a walk on the beach. Let's go to another place and change the vibe or the energy and take it to another place. Sapiosexual is what she's saying. Oh, okay. Stimulating her
Sapiosexual,
mind.
yeah.
Yep, that are people who are stimulated by the mind.
That's me.
That's you. I'm not super sapiosexual. It's not a requirement for me. Do I like it? Sure. I mean, I know some people that are like, listen, if you don't have a degree in this or a borderline a master's in that, they don't even want to go on a date with you. Yeah. I also know people on the other end that like they'll talk to someone who's a bag of rocks. I like to fall somewhere in the middle towards the sapio side, because I'm not 20 and I'm not looking for like a wind up Barbie doll toy that can speak 5 words and can't hold a conversation.
Did you see Barbie?
No, I didn't see. I refuse to go see Barbie, even though I heard it's really awesome and there's a lot of.
There's a message.
There's a lot of message and content.
And she's gorgeous.
Listen, I love Margot Robbie. I'm just throwing it out there. I will go on a date with you.
She's a great actress. I love how she cries. I can cry really easily too.
Well,
she just like cries. She can cry out of one eye and not the other one.
Wow.
I'll cry because I remember all the things that have happened to me. That's what Meisner technique in acting. You have to go back to like remember something that happened that was really painful. And you got to go there and then you cry.
Oh, listen, I need a little more than 30 seconds, but I could, with a minute or two, I could cry on command. And that's another thing. You
could fake cry?
I could fake cry. I could real cry. I could bring myself to real cry in 2 minutes if I had to.
Okay. Yeah, I bet you could. You're very in touch with yourself. So, I mean.
Well, that's another thing that I'm just randomly, again, there's so much content I'm thinking of. But here's another, I'm going to throw this out as a big tip. And this kept me in a marriage for decades. This keeps it easier for me to be dating and more attracted on the emotional side, is we need to learn how to live between the female and the masculine energy.
Right.
You must.
You need to listen.
Listen, that's a whole lot. Women want to be seen. Women want to be heard. Women want to be safe.
Right.
So that's a whole other conversation I could go on for.
And great sex.
And great sex. Well, listen, I don't know that. I think that's a universal thing. I'm not even going to say what a couple women call. We'll just say, yeah, it's great sex. I mean, look, no one's going to be upset about great sex. Women, men, there is no. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, again, I can't speak for women, I could have sex with you for hours. You could head feels like it's blowing off your shoulders. But if I'm not emotionally in tune to you, and I'm not listening to you, and you don't feel safe with me, and you feel I'm texting on my phone and not listening to a word you're saying, that sex is over. And whatever you had that time, you're not having again.
Okay,
now, on the flip side of that, let me just finish this. On the flip side of that, I meet you. I'm paying attention to every little thing you're saying. I'm hearing and understanding you. I'm listening to you. I'm letting you feel safe. I'm letting you feel open. I'm letting you share and be vulnerable. You're already opening up to me. And we didn't even get into sex yet. So when you do get to that point, then it's a whole other level, because you're like flowers and you want to be open and beautiful and ready and all of that fun stuff. So, yeah.
Okay, my question for you is, okay, so the first time can be really awkward.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to say this.
How do you combat the awkwardness?
Yeah, or like you do. How do you do that? Or I mean, sometimes it just feels right and it's just great. And then sometimes it's just like awkward and it wasn't good and it doesn't work. And it's like you feel bad or they feel bad or whatever. You know what I mean?
No,
and
I do know what you mean. I could address that, and there's
girls don't really care if it doesn't work the first time anyway. I don't think they do. I'll have to do a survey on it.
Gotcha. Well, I'll tell you this much. There's 1 or 2 people on this watching right now that I have spoke about this. And, sometimes what you think in your mind, and let's go back to Tony again, when you trade your expectations for appreciation, your life is different. You know, a lot of people go in, they're like, okay,
Expectations for appreciation.
yep, trade your expectations for appreciation. Appreciate each other, you
Yes.
know, and this is whether it's man or woman. You're going in, listen, I know that women or men can go into something and like, oh shit, this is the night. We're gonna go have dinner and we're gonna have some wine and we're gonna go back and it's gonna happen. And let me run to the bathroom and put my hair is right and I smell good and everything's all in order and da da da. And then you just start whatever, and it's just not as smooth and silky and awesome and fiery as you think. And at the end of the day, I feel that sometimes, you know, and this person, a couple people who had a conversation about this watching will laugh, you know, sometimes you need that second time or that third time. And there's been people that ask me, you know, like, you know, look, people talk, guys have colleagues and friends and girls do
Uh-huh.
too. I'm sure you all bullshit about what's going on and how it went and how he was and this and that, the other thing, you know, and sometimes people go home and they're like, yeah, you know, for me, I want to go again. I want another. I hate to
Oh,
say it,
you're
but
lucky you can.
another shot at it per
You better
se.
take
Because
advantage of it while you can.
no, listen, I could take
I'm
advantage.
sorry.
You know, I don't know that taking advantage of it is the right word
I'm
because
joking.
no,
Mark,
I
I'm
know what you're
joking.
saying, but you know, at the end of the day, sometimes you need a second or a third time to feel more comfortable with each other. You
Okay.
know,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
sometimes
No, I think you meant it the same day.
no, no, that's the whole. Listen, that'll be. Now I'm talking about in general.
I'm
You,
sorry.
Stacy Q meets Frankie G, and you think Frankie G is gonna like
Gee.
blow your brains away and have the hottest, best sex of your life, and
Really?
you get ready and all this, and then the next thing you know, you're like, what the frick? Frankie G can't perform. Frankie G lasts 3 minutes. Frankie G doesn't do this the way you like. Frankie G, you know, and maybe in time one with you, you're like, okay, you got to go now, Frankie G. Maybe on time two, you're like, hey, Frankie G, you got to do this that way. I want you to slow that down. I want you to do that again. And then
Do
all of
you
a
guys
sudden,
like to be so? Okay, yeah. This is
so yeah,
important. How do you handle a situation like that? Where do guys come from when a situation's like that? How do you want a woman to ask you or like or tell you?
yeah, listen, I'm a
You guys
fan.
want to know?
I'm a fan because, like, let's get to it. You know, if you want to get down to brass tacks,
Let's
I'm going to
go
flirt with the
to
rated R right now. You know, typically women are a little more difficult to orgasm than male. I think that's a fair assumption.
okay.
And, you know, why would you not want to hear what works for you? I'm here to try to please you and also please myself. But I'm not just saying this to be cliche, but the women need to be pleased first, period.
Well,
End of
guys get
story.
turned on. I mean, really turned on from turning a woman on, don't they? When if they turn a
I
woman on,
do. And I
I,
think most people do. Like Ray saying, oh, yeah, talk dirty to me. You know,
I'm turning to you,
I like
bad
being
boy.
talked dirty too. So if a woman, if I say, hey, you talk dirty to me, and she starts talking dirty to me, it gets a little spicier. You know, I might
You like
ask,
lingerie too?
yeah, I do.
You don't care.
You know, it's okay for me because at the end of the day, it's getting peeled off rather quickly. So I would rather hear you asking me, Mark, I want you to do this that way, and what would you like me to do to you that way? And
Oh, okay, that's good. I like that
I'd rather have better
communication.
feedback and information
Yeah.
than, hi, look at my Victoria's Secret thing. It looks hot. I'm taking it off in 10 seconds. Thanks
Well,
for
how
spending
about
80
like
bucks.
then after when things after 3 months, you like lingerie?
Listen, I always like it, but you know, I know
Oh,
people, I know guys that are like, holy crap, they have to wear this baby doll outfit.
hi, here,
It's got
yeah,
to
yeah.
be all whatever. Listen, I found women in underwear and a tank top sometimes to be sexier than dialed up in,
That is
you
so.
know.
I think that is so sexy. If it's the right underwear, the right
Yeah, listen.
t-shirt, see little
Oh shit.
nipples through them.
Yo, look at Wally Waiters. What's up, brother? Where do you guys come up with these topics? Because you know what? This is what goes on. This is what happens in the real world. And, you know, nobody wants to really talk about it. I mean, there's dating sites and there's matchmakers and there's all of this stuff. But who's really talking about like, you should do this, you should do that? I mean, shit, I'm going to do one that's like a paid version that we're going to take to rated X. And
A men's long sleeve shirt is sexy on a woman. What do you think? That's what someone just said,
yeah,
right?
I like that. That's hot. You know, the button-down shirt with nothing on it under there. Living in South Florida, we don't do that much. Being a CBD company owner who wears T-shirts and the owner of a personal training company, if I tell you, I've got like 5 button-down shirts maybe in my closet that are long sleeve. So yeah, you know, maybe in New York.
Oh, so a big T-shirt.
Yeah, listen,
I like
don't
that
really,
T-shirt.
you know, T-shirt, shirt. It to me, air conditioning. I know, Ray, but you know what? I don't like to make it freezing cold either because you want to be warm when you're naked.
Where do we come up with these topics? Somebody wants to know where we come up.
Yeah, no, it's Wally. He asked. I'm friends. This is my dude, Wally.
We're just doing this off the cuff, right?
Yeah, this is literally off the cuff. This is stuff we're talking about. There you go, a wife beater. Yeah, a little tank top.
Oh, I love wife beaters.
You know, if you're wearing that and a little like cute underwear, that doesn't suck.
Love it.
You know, you want to jazz it up a little. Maybe you throw some cool heels on. I don't know. That's kind of fun. But again, I was never one for, you know, leave the boots on or the heels on because, like, you know, you're in my bed and you're stepping through me and you're poking a hole in my sheets and you're sticking me with your shoe and it's uncomfortable. You know,
but that's for guys with foot fetishes. No,
hey, listen, that to me, I have zero. I don't know. Like, I'm glad you brought that up.
So what's your fetish?
I find zero attraction about feet. I never was like, let me suck your toes, you suck my toes, let me play with my feet.
There's a lot of guys like that.
And there are a ton of guys like that. And it just goes to the point of, you know, some say tomato, some say tomato, some like it this way, some like, yeah, what's my fetish?
What's your fetish?
Wow, that's a great question. I don't know that, you know what's funny is, at the end of the day, I don't really have specific, like, I was, you know, and we're getting fairly.
What's your biggest turn on?
I know. I'm thinking how to say this and what to say because now this could go into a whole other thing.
I know, and we're already on for an hour, but we're having too much fun.
Yeah.
We did this last time on Empowered.
I already know this was going to go. I told people, like, get your popcorn, relax.
Like a half hour.
Take a load off. People are going to be watching this. People are going to be replaying. You know, for me, you know, I'm a kind of, at the end of the day, the biggest turn on is confidence.
Okay.
You know, obviously it's, you know, being physical. Listen, a big turn on to me is a great body. You know, there's nothing that sucks about having sex with somebody who's physically fit. To me, a big turn on is interaction. To me, a big turn on is praise. You know, I think women need to do a little better job from what I've seen in this time frame of saying, you know what, you know, I like the way you did that. Can you do more of that?
Okay, communication again. It's
communication. What? You did a great job doing that. That was fantastic. Exactly.
So you want to hear that too?
Praise. They want to hear, bro, don't make him any bullshit here. Be honest, confidence, my ass. I'm going to say, Wally, I'll call you right out live. I'm not making any bullshit up here. I speak the truth.
Mark speaks the truth.
And Wally knows me a little while, and any woman watching this knows I don't bring any of the bullshit to the table. This is what I am. This is what I look like. This is what I can do.
I love you for that.
My background is. If you like that, fantastic. If you don't, move along. That's it. We could be friends. We could do business, but we're not going to be that way.
All right. So, do you want to talk about your CBD? Do you want to come on and do another show? What do you want to do?
I'll do another show about CBD, but you know, I'll say this.
Okay.
My roll-on is a very great product to.
Oh, you have a roll-on?
Oh yeah, of course.
You do?
Come on now, I've had it for 4 years.
CBD roll. Oh, the roll-on. I thought you meant like for underarms. Yes,
no,
I know about that. And the spray.
Take 21 essential oils, rub it on each other. It smells pretty.
Oh, really? I love that idea.
Wally says, I appreciate you, brother, trying to add some banter to the conversation. I know what you mean. That's awesome. You know, and CBD, sure. Being relaxed. I mean, look, I'm going to show you something.
Mark, also for anxiety, depression, I talk about that a lot.
This is sitting on my
Yeah,
nightstand. This is a bag full of loose gummies. There's probably like
right.
70 gummies in here.
Okay.
So if you want to tie that in, how does all this mean anything?
Yeah,
If you're relaxed and you have CBD
right.
and you have it roll on with 21 essential oils of CBD
Okay.
and it smells pretty, and I say, hey, let me give you a little massage, take a gummy. It
I,
doesn't suck to start that way.
I see t-shirts, wife beaters coming up with QTP, CBD, and little panties.
Okay, hey, listen, maybe I could do that. That would be a real high sexual encounter. No, the CBD, that's funny you said that. This has no THC in this, zero. This is
Does
just
that
to
help you with
relax.
your sex life, the CBD? I mean, it helps with what? Anxiety, depression, ADD.
Anxiety, ADD, depression, inflammation, cholesterol, menstrual cramps, joint pain, focus issues, inflammation, MS, MD, fibro, cystic. It's just
Chronic.
crazy. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I also get annoyed by companies that claim like, "Oh shit, if you eat this gummy, you're gonna have the best sex of your life," and it's like female Viagra and men's Cialis and everything all wrapped into one.
There is no THC in your CBD. It is strictly CBD.
Correct, but
And
on
it's
top of that,
amazing.
anyone's what my point was is anyone trying to make a claim that if
Hmm.
you take their CBD, it's like liquid, like what they used to call that thing, Spanish fly or whatever. Back in I don't even know what the
I
hell.
remember that. Yeah.
I remember
I never
hearing
took
about it.
one.
I was
I
always
don't know
too
what it
young to even know what it was, but it was like, even now, like
Spanish
the
fly.
colognes, the pheromones. If you buy this shit on Instagram for $45 and you spray it on your neck, the girl's gonna smell you from a mile away and come attack you and be
Oh,
on
like
top of
the
you.
pheromones.
Pheromones. Yeah, I
Yes,
mean
but there
maybe,
is
but
something.
it's a
There
lot of
is
marketing.
something.
It's a lot of marketing.
A lot of
Ray's like,
marketing.
shucks. Ray wants me to tell him that the CBD is going to get all the women falling over and going to bed with him. So yeah, I would love to hear some questions from the guys, from the girls, from Blanca, from Sherry, from Soraya, from Ray, from other audiences, from you, because I'm flowing right now and feeling
Mark
it.
will stay on for another hour.
I will. I could talk about this
No,
all day.
no.
And again, like I said, as I'm doing this, literally, I am proclaiming right now that I'm going to do a private one that is not public and it will be for pay and it will go to the next level. We'll
Okay.
get into like,
Do we have a name?
nope. And it's going to be rated R plus / rated X. And
So
then we're
you'll
going
have
to
to
get
come back
into
on this show when that
no. It's not going to
happens
be on this show. It's not going to
to
be on
promote it.
Facebook. It's not going to be on YouTube. It's going to be a private audience
Oh,
only, and we're going to
really?
get right
How do you
down
do
to.
that?
There's a lot of things you can do. I'll teach you a Padawan. I did podcasts years ago, and I'm actually thanking you because, like, I'm looking here at my Yeti microphone that's getting ready again, my new camera
Uh-huh.
that I'm getting, and I'm bringing Quantum Cast Part 2.0 back because I really miss this. I
Yeah.
love doing this, and just
You
so
taught
everyone's
me how to
clear,
do
like,
this.
yeah, exactly. Thank you. I'm blessed, and I'm not
Thank you. I'm
getting
blessed.
paid and you're not paying me and no one's this isn't about money. This is about adding value. And I even noticed, not to bring something up, but on someone else's page who
Mm-hmm.
shared, someone says something like, who cares about this thing? Well, guess what?
Who said
More
that?
it doesn't matter, but
That's
more
okay. We
people.
don't want the negative people.
I don't want them, and I wrote that. But more
Yeah.
importantly, my point is a lot of people care about this. A
Yes,
lot
and
of
we're
people.
here. We're here to help and provide the information. That's exactly what we're doing. We're answering the questions that you don't ask, don't know what to ask. I'm asking people. I'm getting bring them on here. We're getting the information from their mouth, from the truth.
Yeah. No, this is it. And again, there's no filter. I'm taking it to as far as I kind of can on a public forum and Facebook so it still stays up and doesn't get pulled. But at the end of the day, see, Ray says, yes, we do. Because unless, 10 people want to jump on camera right now and tell me that the dates are falling out of the sky for them and every one of them is perfect and the connection is perfect and the sex is explosive and everything is amazing, I'm a
No,
call
dates could
bullshit.
fall out of the sky, but being perfect, that's another thing.
Listen, it doesn't, Soraya, thank you. we care and love that you learn to teach. Listen, I've been doing this for many years. I've coached many people. I've done it through, I mean, if you really think about it, at the end of the day, and this is a little bit off topic, I've been kind of like coaching people a chunk of my life
Yeah.
because I did it through finance for over a decade. Then I
Mm-hmm.
did it as a personal trainer for over a decade, removing over 11,000 pounds. I've done it with over 4.5 years. In a few weeks, it'll be 4.5 years with the CBD company.
You got
I,
into some quick, kick-ass shape there too. I mean, you
yeah,
like,
thanks. I dropped when I got divorced. I was 227 pounds, and within months, I went to 187. I dropped 40 pounds clean, two clothing sizes.
shredded. You got shredded.
Yep. Hot yoga was amazing for me. Lifetime, which is the greatest gym I've ever been to. It's a country club meets the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, I even got to a point where I feel like I was getting too thin, and I tried gaining weight, and then I slowly started gaining it. And then all of a sudden, when the scale can really screw with your brains, especially as a trainer. And then you look, and I'm like, okay, I want to gain weight, and I'm going to work out
Muscle. You
harder.
gain muscle.
And then you gain it, and you're like, oh shit, wait a
I gotta
second.
lose it.
What the hell's going on? I'm up 13 pounds. Like right now, I'm going through a cycle of in August. To me, was I want to get really lean,
Yeah.
and I can't lose a pound. I can't shake it.
Well, maybe you're like at a plateau, and
I'm
you
at a
need
little bit
to
of a plateau.
change it up.
Also putting more muscle on
Yeah.
because I'm training differently.
Yes.
I'm eating differently.
Mhm.
September is going to be a cleanse out month.
You're eating differently.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm eating a lot more. I've been on the trying to gain weight mode.
Are you high protein still?
Oh yeah, always. But I'm not eating enough of it, and that's a whole other PSA. Everybody, eat your protein because I'm willing to bet any amount of money, and my Zelle is ready or my Cash App, that at the end of the day, I'll bet you 90% of this audience is way under proteined.
I'm way under protein, and I need to go eat. So let's close this out because Mark, I could go with you all night, but I don't.
Wow. Oh, can you?
I love you. Thank you. Please.
Wait, you got to
Don't
give them a little, give them 30 seconds.
But I want to tell them, don't forget to like, comment, and share this podcast, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
Hold on, Ray. Of course, you can get enough protein, Ray. You can get a shake.
Stacy, drinking a little bit of CBD. I just had a cocktail. I told you guys 7:00 have a cocktail, but I need to eat.
Yeah, no, I haven't ate since I do intermittent fasting. Last night stopped eating at 9. I didn't eat anything till 12:30 this afternoon and after a workout. And then I had some eggs and stuff, and I haven't eaten anything in the last 8 hours. Now I'm gonna go eat. I could even tell you straight. I have chicken, rice, and broccoli.
Yum.
And then I'm gonna have a protein shake with some raspberry syrup, like a splash in, just to make it a little interesting. And then I'm done until tomorrow afternoon. Intermittent fasting is killer, and I highly recommend it. So Ray, you can get your protein. It's just a limiting belief that you think you can't. He does 16-hour fasting. I do 15 hours fasting, 9 hours eating. So it's a great thing. But in closing, because I know Stacy wants to go eat, and now
I really need to. I haven't eaten all day.
It's all right. We're getting more viewers now as we're wrapping up, and we're going to have to maybe have a follow-up call. I'm going to say a few things in closing. Number one, if for some reason you're watching this and you were shy, embarrassed, not sure, didn't want to ask, reach out to me in the DMs. Like, I think anyone who knows me long enough knows that I will answer you. I will give you the straight shot. I won't bullshit you. And, for the people who, you're doing it and you're out there, good luck, be safe, keep going. A couple of nuggets of tips is be yourself, be honest, be transparent.
Honesty is so important.
If I really had to nail it, I mean, look, besides it's great, getting good shape and be hygiene and all that, that's like all basic, like understandable. Right. But at the end of the day, if I had to pick one thing to say that this will help your dating 10 times over, is complete transparency. I would rather hear someone say to me, you know what? I can't even go on a date with you because I'm looking for my next love of my life and my husband by next month, then great. Go find that person. That's not me. And I think that I would rather say that and end that right there
Right.
than sit and play games and bullshit and try to tell you what I think that you want to hear,
Right.
just so I could hook up with you and then I can pull the plug. Because that to me is weak. I don't play games. I don't think men should play games. And let's flip it around too. Women, I hope you're paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Don't play games with these guys either. You're
Yeah,
into
it
these
goes both
guys,
ways.
you let them know. You're not into these guys, you let them know. And trust me, said no one ever, in my opinion, you know, I'm really pissed off that this person was honest with me.
No. Right? I
So,
mean, you might not like what they have to say. Yeah, it's really annoying when people aren't honest. I can't stand it.
right.
I can feel it. I sense it. Third eye. Tap on the
Yeah,
third eye.
absolutely. I'd rather have a delivery of hearing something I don't want to hear because, oh, I got to tell you this one funniest quick little story.
Here, look, Mark. Tap on the third eye.
Oh, I already know third eye,
Tapping.
pineal gland. Trust me. Come on, you're talking to a guy who primes every day, meditates. You know, this is a funny-ish story, and I want to, you know, say this. Girls, when guys approach you and they want to be with you or talk to you, and they want your phone number and they want to take you out, if you don't want to go out with them,
Yes.
don't even give me your number.
So
And
be
let
honest.
me just show you how crazy this is, because that's a pet peeve of mine where I've got probably dozens of phone numbers in my phone that I never spoke to after once or twice. And
Oh,
I
a
say to
dozen?
myself, like, why did you even give it to me? But what blew my mind
Yeah.
away is, forget about women who are 30s, 40s, 50s doing this. I'm not going to say anything, but I happen to be in a room somewhere where a teenage girl
Yeah.
was complaining that a guy was kind of asking, you know, looking at her, trying to approach her. She doesn't like him. And she gave her phone number to this guy. And then she, seconds later, complained, oh my God, why did I do that? Why did I do that? I should never have done that. So it leads me almost to believe. And then I literally asked, I said, I don't mean to butt in or whatever, like, but like, why'd you give it to him in the first place? And she's like, well, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. I wanted to be nice to him. So it's blowing my mind, and maybe I'm wrong, that when you watch a teenage girl do that, that girl will do the same thing in college. That girl will do the same thing post-college. That woman will do the same thing in the bar. That woman will do it again in her 20s and her 30s and her 40s and her 50s, and she's going to do it. If you don't want to connect with these people, you tell them. I don't need, and no one else
So what
needs.
do you say? What are you telling them? What should a woman say? I just want to be friends. You're not
Or
right
just
for
say,
me.
listen, listen, there's a million different things you could say. First of all, as soon as someone tells me, you know, I'm with somebody or I have a boyfriend or whatever, conversation's over. I'm
Okay.
married. I'm engaged.
Okay.
Conversation's over. I'm not here to be a home wrecker. I'm not here to wreck relationships. I'm not here to cause problems. I'm here that it's simple. Like it doesn't matter where it is to me. I could be in Trader Joe's. I could be at Walmart. I could be at the gym. I could be at the bar. If I see someone and there's something going on there and they look at me and I look at them and we want to talk to each other, we're talking. And that's it. And I'm going over or she's coming over. And then right there, we have to make the decision of, you know, now the next step is, you know, what's your Insta? What's your phone number? What are you doing? You know, and if you don't want any of that, just say, I don't want it. Say, you know what?
This isn't for me.
I'd rather not give you my number.
Okay.
Okay. That's it.
Okay.
You know,
I thank
now
you.
if you
These
don't
are
do
great
that,
tips, and you've given me a lot of information and a lot of tips. I mean, it's not something that we usually talk about when I see you.
right.
So, I mean, I don't
Well,
usually ask these questions or talk to you.
no, well, again, you know, and even Shari is saying it because she is very smart about how she handles this because she plays both sides of listening to the male and the female. Sherry just said I've been a great friend and a brother to her. I'm always honest, real, and I get down to business, which is true. Let's get down to business. That's my
And
theme
she
song.
said, "Thank you, Stacy Rosman, for sharing the women's perspective."
Bingo.
Thank
That's my
you.
point. Because right now, anyone watching this, and I'm sure the replay game is going to be way ahead. Because by the way, we're through over 70 comments already, and I don't know how many of your last few did.
Oh,
But
this is going to fly. I
oh,
want a high
funny.
five. Give me a high five. I'm putting it towards your window, but it's going the other way.
No, it's okay. And thank you, everyone, for
I
tuning
love you.
in.
Thank you so much.
Love you too, and we'll meet up soon, maybe on the
Okay.
holiday weekend. So everyone,
Definitely.
be safe out there. Have fun. Again, feel free to reach out to me if you want to talk a little more. And by the way, just so we're clear, this isn't like a ploy and now you're going to like sign up for like coaching programs with me or whatever. I'm talking for free. Just ask me what you want to know. If I know it, great. If I don't know it, I'm going to point you to someone who does know it. If you want a female perspective of it, I'm going to point you in the direction of a female friend. Because let's not get it twisted too, guys. We need female friends that we're not sleeping with.
Yes, we definitely do.
If it wasn't for some of my female friends, I probably wouldn't have made it through my divorce. I would definitely not have bounced back as fast as I did. And it's really great to hear the woman's perspective from someone who doesn't have an axe or a hand in the game per se. If you are attracted to me sexually and I'm going to pour my guts out to you, you might be regurgitating or feeding me whatever you think I want to hear. That's not always what I want. I want the hard truths. I want, maybe this
I want the
woman.
hard truth too.
I think everyone does.
Yeah, but so many people bullshit. They do.
I don't know. I wonder
can tell.
what
I feel it. I
percentage
feel
of
it.
people
I feel the energy.
bullshit. I really wonder. I'm going to ask you a question, and anyone watching, throw in the chat. Out of 100% of people, how many of you think of them are just bullshitting their way through dating, hooking up, sex, whatever, all of it? What percent out of 100?
Out of 100, how many?
Yeah, what percent?
I'm curious. Okay, what percent? 80.
Okay, that's pretty scary. So just think about that.
Compromising,
you're doing a
80%
podcast.
Compromising, maybe even higher. I don't know.
Okay, this is crazy. So just think about it. I'd love to hear what Shari and Soraya and Blanca and Ray, throw a number in from 1 to 100, the percentage of bullshit you think. Because just look at this. This is why you should continue to do what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're doing a podcast about dating. As you're saying, you believe over 80% of people are full of shit when it comes to this arena.
Maybe even higher. I don't know.
Maybe even higher. Exactly. This is my point. So to answer everybody else, that is why we're having this conversation. That is why people are messaging me going, dude, how are you like hooking up with these women? Because I'm not playing games. Because I'm not lying. Because I'm not bullshitting.
Yep.
I mean, sure, I'm fit and great, and that's all fun and dandy.
And funny.
You can have all these great attributes, but as per you, who speaks for the woman, you want someone who tells the truth. You want someone who is you're emotionally connected with. You want a beautiful soul. You want someone.
I need somebody intelligent too. Intelligence is sapiosexual.
Great, you're sapiosexual.
Very important.
So you want intelligence.
Not very important.
Empathy.
I mean, not very intelligent, but if
right, you want kindness. So
kindness.
You have a lot of other boxes that you want checked.
And kind.
Okay.
I want a strong, kind man. That's what I want.
Let's go. Anyone? Stacy's looking for a date here and a strong, kind man. Ray thinks it's 50%. So Ray's a little more optimistic in our world. And it's interesting that another guy, I don't know what my number, I would guess how many people are full of shit. I'm going to go closer to Ray. I'm going to go right in the middle and say like 65% are full of shit.
You're a guy. That's why. If you were a woman, though, you would have said higher. Ask Blanca.
So women think more. So that's an interesting.
So much bullshit, please.
So do you think that? So you're saying guys bullshit more than women?
I don't know. I don't date women.
I know, but now I'm gonna think about this because I'm thinking about how many women like were bullshit with me versus how many. See, exactly. This is the hard thing. I don't have that number for me because I don't bullshit them.
I'm older than you too. More experience.
I guess so. I mean, I'm newer to the game, but as to the point of why I'm on
That's true.
here,
I've been single a long time,
right? I've been
so maybe
single,
that's why.
8 months barely, and you've been single a while. And I can only imagine having this interview in 6 more months, in a year, in 2 years, do a follow up. Maybe I'll be married, maybe I'll be engaged,
Never
maybe I'll be
know.
dating like a monster still. Maybe, who knows? I don't know. And I know this, and I'll keep saying this is the last thing because I know we're eventually going to wrap this up,
You
and
know
we
I
could
can't cut you
literally
off.
do this all day.
Yes.
I am learning even more to trade my expectations for appreciation. I know Tony says it. I know we
Say it
said it
again.
before.
Say it again.
Trade your expectations for appreciation. Tony has taught me this a million times.
We love Tony. Say it again.
We love Tony. I know all I have to do is reach 5 feet. This one doesn't match, but
Tony
here's one of the
Robbins. He's
lucky.
our man.
I have 38 of them, and here's my empowerment necklace. So yes,
And Dean Graciosi.
we love you, Tony. We love you, Sage.
We love you, Dean.
We love you. At the end of the day, this is the stuff that, to keep quoting
This is the
Tony,
stuff that we need to talk about.
right? And knowledge is power.
Right.
However, execution trumps knowledge 100% of the time.
You have to execute.
So,
all right, we're going to go on we're just going to keep going. Let's say good night. I love you.
Mwah. And Ray, don't try to be transparent. Be transparent. There is no try.
Like Nike says.
Isn't that Yoda? Like, there is no try. Just do whatever. Wait, hold on. Where's my baby?
What are you doing?
This is one of my baby
Yoda. Oh, and I was in a film with William Shatner, and I was this superhero, Calista Beckett Black, the Black Rose from Marvel Comics.
Yeah, no,
yeah,
I love it. So keep shining, keep going. Maybe I'll see you over the holiday weekend. Mwah, to everyone.
I'll see you probably. I love you.
Everybody throw this in the replay game. I can't wait to watch this feed. Just
happy holidays, everyone. I love you.
Yeah, that's right. Have a wonderful
beautiful holiday.
Thank you for having me, Stace.
How about the day?